Yeah.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. So I'm going to be hosting the training today, and instead of Christine, because she's away. We're going to be talking about Kaitec plumbing. So please welcome Mr. Arshad Khan.
Hi, everyone. I hope you remember me. So let me just briefly remind you, my name is Arshad Khan, and I'm the owner and founder of.
Oh, sorry. Mr. Arshad, if you want to start the meeting, we're all ready for you.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Sarah, for the opportunity, and Christine for inviting me for this presentation. So those who don't know, my name is Arshad Khan, and I'm the owner and founder of Quality Spec Building Inspection. I'm in the business for past 18 years. I do residential and commercial inspections. Today, well, first of all, I apologize for the last presentation. It was canceled because my wife got positive with COVID. Luckily, I was negative all the time, but anyway. So today, the topic is about Kaitec plumbing. I'm sure that most of you guys probably know about Kaitec plumbing, but those who don't know, it's a good information. When I put these presentations, I just make sure that they don't scare you, rather they educate you. So this is very simple learning. If you have any question anytime, please stop me. So basically, so let's start Kaitec. What is Kaitec? Kaitec, basically, it's a plastic plumbing. It's called PEX, polyethylene. If you look at the picture, did you set up with the first picture there? I cannot hear you.
Sorry, it's Saraf. It looks like somebody is saying that Arshad has no video. So maybe if you could turn on your video.
Oh. Okay. Yes, I can see myself now.
Yes, nice, very good. Thank you, Arshad.
Okay. So did you guys hear me beginning, or you missed it?
Yes, we could hear you, but we just couldn't see you.
Okay.
But if you could maybe repeat the gist, that would be nice.
Okay. All right. So, hi, everyone. My name is Arshad Khan, and I'm the owner and founder of Quality Spec Building Inspection. It's been 18 years. I've been doing this. I do residential and commercial, and I work with a few people in this office. So they know how I work. Today, basically, the topic is Kaitec plumbing. I am sure that most of the people you know about it. If you don't know, this is just a refreshing for all of you. If you have any question during this presentation, please ask. I'm here to help. I'm not a teacher. Before I start, I'd like to thank Christine for the opportunity, and also I'd like to apologize for the last session that was canceled because my wife got COVID positive. But anyway, so we will continue doing this whenever she asks me to do it. So let's start. If you want to put the first slide about the Kaitec. What is a Kaitec plumbing? Okay, is the slide there? Sarah?
Yes, the PowerPoint,
Yeah.
You want me to start it right now?
Please, yeah. All right. Thank you. So if you look at the picture, okay. Yeah, so if you look at the picture on the right, so this is basically a Kaitec plumbing looks like. Probably you guys have seen it. So Kaitec plumbing consists of a flexible aluminum inside. I mean, I don't want to go in too much in detail, but just to give a little brief, like how it's made of. So it's basically the inner layer is a flexible aluminum, and outer layers, they are basically just the plastic. And this is called PEX, which is polyethylene. And the fitting basically was used called brass fitting. they marketed this plumbing as a cheap and alternative, like easy to install, cheap and alternative for the copper piping. It's a good piping, it's a good system, as good as copper. I would just say some pro and cons. I would say cheaper, plumber love to install. It's very easy. There's no soldering involved in this kind of plumbing. So basically, plumber they love them rather than installing copper plumbing. Okay, so if we move on to the next one.
Sorry, next one.
Okay, so basically it was installed between 1995 to 2007. So that was between 11 to 12 years that time. So when I inspect the house, I basically look for it, okay? That if we have a Kaitec plumbing or not. So it was installed basically in North America and Canada in high-rise buildings, low-rise, and also single-family homes, okay? Mostly for the portable water, in floor, and for the hot water tanks. The manufacturer of Kaitec was the company is called IPEX. IPEX is the company who's still making PEX, which is we see in today's home. All the plastic is manufactured by the same company, IPEX, but Kaitec has been discontinued because of the issues which we're going to discuss in the further slides. What were the issues and why it was basically banned? Okay, so if you go to the next one. So basically, like I mentioned, it was a good plumbing. It was certified for 180 Fahrenheit temperature. Okay, so that normal the copper is certified for 170, but this was certified for 180 Fahrenheit. So it's a good plumbing. And if the hot water boiler, basically we require like 170 Fahrenheit or 77 degrees Celsius. So this was basically rated a little bit more. So it can take like hot water, cold water, no problem. So it was, like I say, it was a good plumbing. The next one. Can I do myself? Can I do it, I guess? Okay. So the Kaitec basically, if you want to identify like how it looks like, if you look at the right side picture, you see blue and orange. So orange, basically, there were two famous colors they were used in. So bright orange basically for the hot water, and the bright blue was for the cold water. But also they were sold in a few other colors like red, blue, gray, and white. So these were also the color that it was sold. So if you look at the right picture, we went back.
It's not letting me. Sorry about that.
No problem. Okay, we're good. All right. So basically, how you identify. So number one is the color. Okay. So orange and blue, or red or gray. But even today, we have these colors. Not orange, but we have red, we have blue, we have white. So how you identify we have a Kaitec. So they were on the pipe again, like I say, because they're installed higher on the ceiling. A lot of time it's not the realtor's job to look at it, but what we do as a home inspector, I take pictures with my phone and I zoom it in. And if you look at these words, they were basically they have these brand names like Kaitec, XPA, Embio Comfort, KERR Curve Control, and then Plumberry, Ameliorite, KTC, and CSA. So all these terms, if it's there, it means this is Kaitec. Okay, if you don't have this, it's not Kaitec. Sometimes it's only Plumberry Ameliorite, and this was normally written on a white hex pipe, not blue, not orange, not red. So mostly Plumberry is written on the white pipe that we identify that this is Kaitec, or it does say Kaitec. If you look at the right side picture, I put the arrow. So see on the elbow, you will see Kaitec, but sometimes it's really hard to identify because the plumbing is hidden and you don't know where it is. Okay, So the next one. Okay, so how you know where it is? So the best place basically is hot water tank. So if you go near the hot water tank, you will see, because again, we need hot and cold. So it's coming out of the hot water tank. You will see orange for the hot water and blue for the cold water. Okay. Also, you can look underneath the kitchen sinks and bathroom vanities. So where the fitting exit the walls, you will see this type of plumbing. And if we look closer, what I mentioned before, any of like a Kitec, XPA, Plumberry, that will tell you that this is a Kitec plumbing. And also there's another place to look for is electrical panel door, either inside or outside. You will see a bright yellow or neon color sticker. The reason they put this sticker is that Kitec plumbing cannot be grounded. You cannot put a ground on Kitec plumbing. Ground means like your electrical needs grounding. So you see a copper wire coming out of the electrical panel, and normally goes to either a copper pipe, which is recommended, or a gas pipe, but we cannot ground our electric to the Kitec plumbing. So that's why they put this sticker on the panel for the plumber that, for the electrician, sorry, not to do that, okay? So next one. Yeah, so if you look at the yellow sticker here on the panel, so that's what it says. The building has non-metallic interior water piping. Do not ground Kitec. So the electrical panel can tell you that we have Kitec plumbing present in the house. The next one. As I mentioned, underneath the sink, the vanities, as you can see it, the piping are there, orange and blue. So that indicates this is Kitec plumbing. And also, if you look above the hot water tank, which is also, you can see the orange and the blue that indicate this is Kitec. Yeah, next one, please. Now, what are the issues basically with the Kitec? What were the issues? Why it was banned? So basically, there was two possible failure that occurred while this plumbing was installed. So number one was dezinsification. Basically, dezinsification is a process in which zinc basically it removes from the alloy. If you look at the right hand side elbow, so the problem was at the elbow. Okay, so because of the dezinsification, the zinc removed from this alloy, and they will rupture. They will cause leak. They will cause leak of water. And the second point was the pipe basically can disintegrate and rupture. So if you look at the second picture, so over the time, over the period, the pipe would rupture because of this corrosion and all these like heat and pressure. So these was the two failure that occurred, and they banned this plumbing because there was a lot of water, of course, the water leak and damages. The next one, please. Now, cost basically, like I said, it was installed in high rise and of course the low rise. If there was an issue, then again you have to remove. Like if you go to the insurance company will not insure you. They'll ask you to remove it. Again, like I said, this is the roughly cost. When I did this presentation, it was probably 2 years back. Now again, everything went up. The prices went up. So just to give you an idea, for one bedroom condo, the average cost $5,000 to remove the Kitec plumbing. It could be more now, 7,000 to 8,000, I would say. For a 2-bedroom, around 10,000, and 15,000 for 3-bedroom. As you can see the pictures on the right, they have to remove the drywall again. You can see the bathroom So all this basically costly. Okay, and then again, you have to put the tiles back, remove it, put a new plumbing. So it's costly. Next one, please. Now, do you have to disclose? So as a realtor, and you should know this, that RICO basically requires that if there's a Kitec plumbing in the house, it's a liability to the realtors, and it's a salesperson. They are required to take reasonable step to discover and disclose. So keep in mind, if you're selling any house from 1995 to 2007, look for it. Again, like I say, if you're not sure, we are here to help you. But if you know, you have to disclose Kitec plumbing, and also the seller has also duty to disclose. Failure to do that, it can be a legal proceeding against them. Next one. So, like I said, we're not using Kitec plumbing after 2007 in the homes. Before I remember 5 years back, insurance company will simply refuse. They would deny. They would say, listen, we cannot give you insurance. But some companies, or most of the companies now, they're a little bit lenient. They are insuring houses or condo with the Kitec plumbing, but I'm not sure if they're charging you a little bit more or not. But you do get the insurance. But before, I was, like I said, 5-6 years back, it was very difficult, and that's why I mentioned previously that if you have a Kitec in a house or a high-rise, then keep the cost in mind, because it's going to cost you. Depends on how many bathrooms. So, but like I said, currently there are more companies writing policies than denying. Okay. Some companies, those who have bad experiences, they still basically they don't insure. So it's not that bad, but still keep in mind. Next one. This one, just to let you know if you guys know or not, Kaitec basically was a lawsuit against this company, IPEX, and it was like 125 million lawsuit. So basically, up until January 2020, if there's any issue with any house, you can claim, but not now. And the deadline was January 2020, and again, it's 22 started. So up until then, you could claim if there's any issue in your house with the Kaitec plumbing, but I don't think so that anything can be done at this point, because they settled out of the court. As you can see, it was 125 million the company gave, and 25 million went to the lawyers. $100,000 basically they set aside for the claimants. But I'm not sure now, are they going to entertain them if there's any issue or not? But since you're getting the insurance, I don't think so that there should be an issue for you. But keep in mind that please disclose if you know. If you have any high-rise condo you're selling or you're buying. If you sell them, you have to disclose that, okay? Or ask question if you're buying a property between 1995 to 2007, or when we go for the inspection, when I go for inspection, I normally look for these things and let the client know. So that was pretty much it. Any question, anyone?
Arshad, you
Yes,
give
sir.
the information about 1 bed, 2 bed, or 3 bedroom apartment building,
Yep.
but how about like a bungalow house or 2-story house? The estimated cost to replace it.
Yeah, mostly it was high rise, like I said, mostly, right? But same thing with the house. If it's a 2-story house, for example, if you have, for example, 3 bathrooms, right? So you're looking 5,000 each bathroom, and plus whatever you have. So I would just say roughly for a house, you're looking like around 20 grand. 20,000-25,000. Depends if the basement is finished. If the basement is finished, again, they have to remove the drywall. We have to remove the plumbing, put it back. So roughly a 3-bedroom house, I would say 25,000 total.
Okay, thank you.
For $5,000 to $8,000, keep in mind per bathroom. If the basement is unfinished, easy for to remove it, install a new one. But if it's finished, then again, you expect more money. And the best thing is always get the quotation before you factor the price in.
So who give the quotation? Is it like a plumber or?
Yes, the plumber will do that.
Plumber, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Arshad.
No problem. Any other question, guys?
If anyone has any questions, you can type it in the chat as well.
Yeah, or you can just email me later on if you have any question top of your mind. And, other than that, like I know it's a little difficult market for you and for us as well, because of the multiple offers, the inspections are not happening. But what I recommend is if you have if you're listing a house, it's a good idea to do a pre-listing inspection. So it'll expedite your sale, and also you will know ahead of time if there is anything. For example, even Kaitec, like you're talking about, if the Kaitec is there, you have to disclose it. Otherwise, it's going to be a liability issue on you. So it helps with a lot of other stuff that will help you out, and like I said, it will expedite your sale. And also, what is happening these days that because of multiple offer, a lot of people, they're buying the house, either they take the seller's report or they're not letting them do the inspection. So they do it after they move in, because once you move in, at least you should know about your house, because you paid more money to educate your clients that you probably paid 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000 today's market. So $300-400 will not kill you. What if you have a mold in the attic? So at least you should know and remediate it before it gets worse and causes more money. What if there's an electrical issue? What if there's you have a Kitec plumbing that you didn't know, and asbestos. I mean, there's so many other issues. If you guys remember, I did a presentation on vermiculite insulation in the attic, asbestos, aluminum wiring, stuff like that. Because I'm not sure how people deal with insurance companies, because if you didn't do the inspection, if they ask you what kind of wiring you have, I don't know what they tell them. What if you have knob and tube? What if you have aluminum? If you're just telling them copper, and God forbid something happens, once the insurance company come in and they say, listen, you have aluminum, you have knob and tube, you didn't tell us. Otherwise, we would not insure you, we would charge you more. So stuff like that is always better. Educate your clients to even do inspection. Even in today's market, you bought a house, but do it for your sake.
Mr. Arshad, I had a question.
Yeah.
So you said that as a realtor, like we can be held liable for having Kaitec plumbing and stuff, but like nowadays with when we buy houses, we don't even go through inspection and stuff, right? So without the inspection, how could we like find out or are we not liable at that time then? You know, like since
you know what, honestly, it's a good question, and that's something you should check with Rico. Okay, but
yeah.
what I read, what I put is basically Rico asked you to do a due diligence a little bit, but like I said, sometimes you don't know if the house is finished, for example. You don't know, like I said, there's a plumbing it's a white color. In your mind, you're thinking it could be the newer plumbing, which is the PEX one. It might be the Kitec. So you're not trained for that, right? You don't look underneath the sink. You don't know where to look, so you might miss this. So it's, like I said, it's always better to do due diligence, do it, or ask for inspection. They say, listen, what if in case of you, when you're listing, at least you can do it. You can do pre-listing. So at least you know now, inspector can tell you that you do have it, okay? But also keep in mind when you're listing a house between 1995 and 7, you keep in mind that you might have it. You might have it. So again, like I said, I don't know how to treat stuff like that, but when it comes to when you miss something,
না না এখনো বাইরে নেই আমার একটা মিটিং অফিসের সাথে চলতেছে
something, and when you go to the court,
কেরা?
it's gonna come against you.
ঠিক আছে মামা আমি মিটিং শেষ করব বন্ধ মনে
Is it-
বাইরে আমি বাইরে কাজে যাব না
It looks like someone is not
ঠিক আছে,
on.
মা।
mute.
Okay.
If you could double check your mic.
এই Arshad, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
You know the current market condition, like there is a multiple offer and we cannot do home inspections, before that. So what do you suggest, like before putting up an offer, is there any way like we can do a quick, like a half an hour, like a home inspection?
Yes. You know what, like, yeah, very good question. This is what people asking me to do now. So what you can, because a lot of time people are home, the seller, and they know that if you bring inspector, like I say, if they say put a clause that listen, no inspection, then you cannot bring inspector telling them listen. But if you take me as a friend, as expert, so what we can do, we can take a look quickly about the main stuff, not telling, because if you tell them again, it's not happening, right? So just a review, like half an hour or 30 minutes. If they're not home, again, there's no problem. We can look everything.
Yeah.
Sometimes if they're home, and I've been through the situation, by the time they see my bag, people get mad. Oh, you brought inspector out. We don't want this. So if you can manage, just say, hey, listen, I am bringing basically my family just to take a look. And if you give us like half an hour, that'll be great. If they're not home, honestly, half an hour is enough. We can take a look at everything, all the major things.
Okay. Okay, Arshad, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any other question? So as I always say that you guys work really hard, and as a home inspector, I always personally understand and respect, because I know sometimes you show 30, 40, 50 homes to a client and he doesn't go through. So working with me, what I think is that, like I say, you work really hard, and I respect that and understand that. I'm not a deal breaker. I don't go out and scare the clients that say, oh, this is bad, this is bad, this is bad. Every house has, might have, or could have small issue, which small issues every house do have, but major. For example, if the roof is there, we educate the client, say, listen, the roof has reached the end of its lifespan. It's coming in few years. So there's a way of educating them rather than scaring them. So this is the way I work. I don't scare the clients. I educate them, and tell them like how much it's gonna be. Just because a lot of times people don't know. People just think sometimes the furnace is gonna cost them $10,000, which is not true. Furnace can be from $3,500 to $4,000, not $10,000. So it helps them budget in case if the furnace is older, if the roof is older, stuff like that, at least, so they factor all this cost. Yeah, that's okay if the roof is, depends how big the house is. For example, 1,500 square feet, you're looking $5,000 nowadays. And also depends what type of roof you put, but rather than they thinking the roof is $15,000 to scare them. So I educate them with the prices. I educate them, listen, everything has a life. Everything again eventually will break, and how much is going to cost you. But look into the big picture, that you like the house, you like the area, and prices are going crazy nowadays. So this is how it works.
Arshad, can I ask you another quick question?
Yes, sir.
Like there is a tankless and tank hot water.
Yep.
Hot water. Now it's like a client is like, is asking a lot of questions about that, which is good, tankless or tank.
Okay, you know what? To be very honest, there's not much of a difference in saving money, because if somebody's asking about saving money, because it depends. For example, if you put a tankless, there's a pro and cons. So if you put a tankless has a limitation of 3 or 4 shower at a time. So for example, in the morning time, when you open the tap with the tankless, it takes at least 30 seconds to a minute before you get the hot water. So that's number one. Number two, if 3 or 4 people took the shower, then you have to wait. There's a limitation to it. Okay, you save a little bit money, definitely, I would just say, because again, you're not burning gas all the time. But on the other side, with the 40 gallons or 160 gallons, there's no problem with the limitation, 4 or 5 showers in the morning, no problem. If you get the high efficient one, they're as efficient as the tankless. So you don't save too much of a money. I would say 10, 15 bucks the most, that's it. But I would just say both are good. They're pro and cons. With the tankless, the only thing is space. If you don't have a space, you save the space. I mean, this is a small one. But if you don't have a space issue, then honestly, I don't see big of a difference. And when I go see the homes, I don't see, I would just say I see more tank than the tankless.
I just share with you as a one experience of my client,
Yeah.
My client has like a tank water heater, and he has like a monthly services from I think Reliance.
Yeah.
And there is some problem with the like a I think furnace, or maybe like what I remember, maybe they ask for to maintenance yearly annual maintenance.
Yeah.
For the, and that time they figured out
the heat insurance plan. Okay, for the furnace.
yeah, he has a heat insurance plan also.
Yeah.
So the maintenance guy came in and he point out, hey, you cannot use like a tank water heater because besides like your door, there is room there, bedroom, basement, there is a bedroom there, so you cannot use tank water heater, so you have to get a tankless.
Yeah, well,
And issue like a work order on this within 15 days. If you do not replace it, then Enbridge will come and cut your gas.
okay, and what happened?
And then the client get like a really afraid of and call me, and I said, okay, if it is like legal issues, then I recommend him better like to replace the like a water heater from tank to tankless.
Yeah, well, see, I don't know. There are a lot of people out there, HVAC guys. I don't know who this person was. They want to make money and they scare the people. Okay, so for the furnace, the clearance nowadays, you don't need a clearance on the side anymore. Okay, they make the body this way that even 1 inch on either side. Okay, it's just the front. You have to have at least 2 feet for the technician to service it, to service the furnace in case you have to replace it. Same thing with the hot water tank. Okay, the body is made this way that there's a clearance of 6 inches is maximum you require. Okay, and again 2 feet at the front, so you can replace the tank. The only thing is you need a clearance at the front, so in case if you have to replace it. The sides are 6 inches, that's it. So I'm not sure, if you send me the picture, I'll take a look what this person was saying, recommending, but most of the time, honestly, previously, remember that we had a black pipes, exhaust pipe for the furnaces?
Arshad, it's not a space issue, it's like like a
Safety
there
issue.
is a door like to enter to the mechanical room.
Yeah.
And it was a bedroom basically. Through
Yeah.
bedroom is entering to the like a mechanical room.
Yeah.
So he said, besides the like a mechanical room, like you cannot have a bedroom.
Why
It
not?
is dangerous for the carbon monoxide,
No, basically we have, depends, it's a high efficient. The flue pipe is going out of the house. Same thing.
It is going out of the house.
And that's why we have carbon monoxide detector every floor. So in case if anything is leaking, it will beep.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know exactly what he was saying. Next to the bedroom, definitely you can have it. Why not? There's no issue.
To me, like it is like like if put a fear to the like a homeowner and
Yes.
replace it with the
Yes.
tankless. That is business,
Exactly.
It's like a chain. chain like a business.
Yes, it's a business. A lot of time people are not they don't know, the homeowner don't know. And then probably he probably selling his product to you and saying this, because see, the tankless is also gas. So there's also chances of leak of
Yeah,
CO.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The body is the same. So what's the difference? Tank has better body than the tankless. So I'm not sure, is he concerned about the CO or is he concerned about the clearance? But having a bedroom next to the furnace room, no problem.
Mhm. Okay, thank you, Arshad.
No
I
problem.
take a lot of time from you.
No problem. Any other question, guys? So how you guys like the Kitec? Was it informative?
Yeah, very informative. Thank you for coming in today.
No problem. So hopefully next time I'm thinking about radon. Although we don't have much of an issue in Ontario, but a lot of people ask, what if we have radon gases? Because I would say very few in my whole 18 years, the 2 or 3 clients who really came hard on that. Hey, listen, what if I have a radon? So I can talk about that too. I mean, there are tons of other issues.
We
as
can
well.
talk about also another issues is like the mold issue, mold, that is which is like a common in most of the houses in most of the basement houses,
Yes.
mold is
Yeah.
so, and how much it costs, like how you can detect that. Also good topic. It will be a good topic.
Okay. Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, I can definitely make a presentation on that. That's no problem. But mold is, like you're right, it's very common these days. Every second, third house has mold, mostly in the attic or the basement. So yeah, absolutely, I can do that. No problem. Any other suggestions? Request, question? Good.
I think we're okay for today.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming
No
in.
problem.
It was very informative. It is quite early, so if anyone wants to chat or anything, that's fine. If not, I think I'll end the meeting.
Or like I said, if it's early for the people, I don't know. I mean, if they want to do later on in the evening, I mean, I'm willing to do it. There's no problem. If more people can join, that's fine.
Normally we end the meeting at 11:30.
No.
It's just a few minutes early today, but that's okay.
And you know what, we
When
have
Christine
more-
is here, because she has a lot more to say than I do for
okay.
sure. So that she's a lot more knowledgeable. So,
Good. Well, thank you, Sarah, and thank you to Christine again. And thank you all, everyone. Thank you very much for your time. And keep me in mind. And like I said, pre-listing, even after purchasing, educate the clients. They should do the inspection. And what if there's mold? What if there's any other issue? At least they should know and fix it.
for sure. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you.